In my first video, I am going to discuss the application of econometrics with the help of real life dataset. Now, in earlier semester, you have already studied econometrics. You have been introduced with econometrics, and there you have studied all the theories of econometrics, that is 2 variable regression, 3 variable regression, multiple regression, and the problem with the data also. So if there is problem of multicollinearity, problem of autocorrelation, problem of heteroscedasticity in the data set, then how to solve this problem and how to analyze the data, that you have already studied in the earlier semester. Now in this semester, you will study the application of econometry, the application of all those econometric theory with the help of real life data set. Now for applying the theory of econometrics, all the theories of econometrics with the help of real life data set, you need to use packages, different econometric software packages. Now 2 software packages are available, Stata and R. Now R is a open source software, but Stata is not open source software. For working with Stata, you need to buy Stata. So you will be taught both the econometric packages in this semester. So before going into detail, before going into the application of econometrics in real life data set, first let me revise some of the concepts of econometric theory that you have already been taught in the earlier semester. So I am starting with the 2 variable regression. So regression analysis, regression is all about the prediction of one variable with the help of another variable. So if you have a theory, you have an economic theory in your mind and you want to predict something. So you want to generate a hypothesis, and with the help of that hypothesis you want to test something. You want to see whether that economic theory is applicable in real life also. So for that you need to use econometrics. So if we start with the 2 variable regression, in 2 variable regression, what we do, we have 2 variables x and y. So x is our independent variable and y is our dependent variable. Now you want to predict that this independent variable x has some effect on the dependent variable y, and that is why you need to use the 2 variable regression. So if I write a simple linear regression equation, then this will take the form y is equal to a plus bx plus u. Now this is called the population regression function, because this equation, this linear equation is true in the population. So if we have the data in the population, then we can use that data for modeling this linear equation. So that is why this is called population regression function. Now in reality, you know that population regression function, use of population regression function is not possible because we don't have that much of data. So for that we need to do sampling. Now after doing the sampling, we have a finite number of data points, and with the help of those finite number of data points, we have to predict the theory, the economic theory, and for that we need the sample regression function, so SRF. So we will not work with the PRF, but we can work with the SRF. So SRF is y is equal to y hat plus u hat, where y hat is equal to a hat plus b hat x plus u hat. Now this u hat is the predicted value of the error term. Now in the PRF, what this u represents? This u represents the actual value of the error term. So basically what we are doing in PRF, we are trying to predict the value of y with the help of x. Now x cannot explain everything about y. So there are some other factors which we cannot incorporate, which we are not incorporating in x. And those variables, those factors, those economic factors are incorporated in the error term u. And that is why we are using this term. This is a random variable and we are using this term u. So u is a random variable in population regression function. Now in sample regression function, what we are doing? We are not taking the actual y, that is a plus bx, but we can predict the value of y with the help of x. So in that case, for predicting the value of y with the help of x, we cannot obtain A hat, A and B, actual A and B. So A and B are the two parameters of regression. So instead of getting A and B, actual A and B, we can get A hat and B hat, that is estimated value of A and estimated value of B. And then after getting the estimated values of A and B, we can predict the value of Y. So then that predicted value of Y is not the actual value of Y. So that is the predicted value of Y, and that is denoted by Y hat. And the actual U also we are not getting when we are doing the sampling, but the predicted value of U that we can get. So that is why this U is being replaced by U hat. So SRF can be written as Y is equal to Y hat, that is the predicted value of Y plus the predicted value of U. So in place of Y hat now we are writing A hat plus B hat X plus U hat. So this is our SRF. Now we can work with this SRF. We cannot work with the PRF. PRF is our model, but we have to work with the SRF, not the PRF, because in real life we cannot we cannot get the entire population data. We can get a finite number of data, so that is the sample data. So for that we have to do the sampling, and after doing the sampling we can get the sample data points, and with that sample data points we have to do the prediction analysis, regression analysis. So that is why we will be, this SRF is more important to us than PR. Now in regression what we are doing? So once we model the SRF, which is Y is equal to A hat plus B hat X plus U hat. Once we get this equation, once we model this equation, then we can do the prediction analysis. We can do the regression analysis. Now this is called two variable regression. Why this is called two variable regression? Because we have only two variables here. One is the dependent variable and the other is the independent variable, and we are not working with any other variable. So suppose we are considering the consumption function. So we are trying to predict that whether income has any effect on consumption. So in that case, income is our independent variable and consumption is our dependent variable, and there is no other factor that we are considering in our analysis. So that is why this is called the two variable regression. So all other factors which may have some effect on the consumption are incorporated in the error term. So that is why this error term is random in nature. So this is called the two variable regression, because we are using only two variables, one dependent variable, the other independent variable. So that is, if we use two independent variable and one dependent variable, so in that case that equation is called the three variable regression, and so on, 4 variable regression, 5 variable regression, and so on. So here for the time being we are only using two variable regression. So when we are dealing with this equation SRF, that is sample regression function, then how to make the prediction, that we have to know. Now for making the prediction, when we are writing this PRF as Y is equal to A plus BX plus U. So this is true in the population. Now we do not know A and B. Now the question arises how to estimate this A and B. So for that we have to do the regression analysis. Now by applying the ordinary least square method, we can predict the value of A and B, and we can get A hat and B hat. Now what is ordinary least square method? We know that for applying the ordinary least square method, our data set have to follow certain assumptions, and those assumptions are called classical linear model assumptions. You know that. And if our data set follows all those classical linear model assumptions, then we can apply the OLS regression, OLS model. We can apply the ordinary least square method of estimation. So now what is OLS? In OLS we basically minimize the sum of the squares of the error term. Now what is our error term? Our error term is this U. So we are trying to, by OLS we are trying to minimize the sum of the squares of the error term. So we are trying to minimize summation of UI square. So basically for each data point, if we put all the suffixes here, so yi is equal to A plus B xi plus ui. Now for each data point, if we get ui, that is suppose for the first data point we get u1, for the second data point we get u2, and so on. And then for each each of the ith data points, we can get ui square, and then if we sum up all these ui square, then we get summation of ui square. Now in OLS, in ordinary least square method, we are minimizing the sum of the squares of the error term. So that is what we are doing in the ordinary least square method. Now we are minimizing the summation of ui square with respect to two parameters a and b. So this a and b, these are the two regression parameters in our analysis. Now when we are minimizing the sum of the squares of the error terms with respect to a and b, then we will get two first order conditions that we know from the optimization exercise in mathematical economics. So then once we get the two normal equations, those equations are called the normal equations in ordinary least square method of regression. Then from those two normal equations, from those two first order conditions, we can get the values of a hat and b. Okay, here I am not showing the calculation because that have already been taught in your earlier semester. So I am just writing the formula. So b hat is equal to summation of small xi yi over summation of xi square, where small xi is the deviation of actual xi from mean and small yi is the deviation of actual yi from its mean. So in place of small xi, we can write xi minus x bar, and in place of small yi, we can write actual yi minus y bar divided by summation of xi minus x bar. So this is the formula for b hat, that is the predicted value of b. And what is the formula for a hat? For getting a hat is equal to y bar minus b hat x bar, because we know that yi is equal to a plus bxi plus ui. Now if we take the summation in both the sides, then we will get this. So a hat is this, and b hat is equal to summation of xi minus x bar into yi minus y bar divided by summation of xi minus x bar. Now what is the interpretation of a hat and b hat? Let me write the regression equation again. So in SRF, the regression equation is y hat is equal to a hat plus b hat x. So yi hat is equal to a hat plus b hat xi. Now what this b hat represents? The b hat can be interpreted as the effect of xi on yi. That is, if we change the value of xi by 1 unit, 1 percentage point, then what will be the change in yi? Now this b hat can either be negative or it can be positive also. So if it is negative, that means there is a negative effect of xi on yi, and if it is positive, that means there is a positive effect of xi. And so if we consider the consumption function, for example, so in that case, this is the income variable and this is the consumption variable. And from the economic theory, from the Keynesian consumption function, we know that the relationship between consumption and income is positive. So if there is a change in income by 1 unit, there will be a positive change in consumption. So in that case, b hat is positive. Now b hat should be always less than 1, that we know from the theory of consumption. And b hat, what is the interpretation of b hat in the Keynesian consumption function? It is the MPC, that is marginal propensity to consume, and we know that as per the assumptions of the Keynesian theory of consumption, one of the conjectures is that b hat is the MPC and it lies between 0 and 1. So b hat is a positive constant and it should be less than 1 and greater than 0. So that is the interpretation of b hat. So b hat calculates the marginal change in yi, marginal change in the dependent variable for 1 unit change in the independent variable. So the interpretation of b hat is equal to dy hat by dxi. So this is B hat. So if we change xi by 1 unit, then what will be the change in yi hat? That is the interpretation of B hat. And what is A hat? A hat is the amount of the dependent variable and it is independent of the explanatory variable xi. So even if the value of the xi, value of the independent variable is 0, then what will be the value of the dependent variable? That is measured by A hat. So suppose we are considering the theory of consumption, Keynesian theory of consumption. So it is saying that if income increases, consumption also increases, but the increase in consumption will be less than the increase in income because MPC lies between 0 and 1. So percentage change in income is always less than the percentage change in consumption. So that can be measured by B hat. Now what is A hat in the consumption function? If the income is 0, then what will be the value of consumption? So even if you are unemployed, you need to consume for your survival. So that is measured by A hat. That amount of consumption that you need for your survival is denoted by A hat. So this is, we can say that this is a subsistence level of consumption. A hat is the subsistence level of consumption. So even if your income level is 0, you are not doing anything, you are not employed, then also you need to consume. So that amount of consumption is measured by A hat. So this is called the subsistence level of consumption. So this is called the intercept and this is called the slope of the two variable regression. So B hat is the slope which measures the marginal change in the dependent variable due to 1 unit change in the independent variable, and A hat is the intercept of the two variable regression. Now after getting the values of A hat and B hat, that is after getting the predicted values of the parameters of the, so these A and B are called the regression parameters. After getting the predicted values of the regression parameters, we can analyze the ANOVA table. We get the ANOVA table. If we run the regression, if we put the data set in the Stata econometric packages, then it will give us two tables. One is the ANOVA table, the other is the regression result table. So we have to interpret that ANOVA table. Now for interpreting the ANOVA table, we need to know the theory behind the behind this consumption. So therefore, what is ANOVA table? ANOVA table, it gives us basically three sums of squares. One is the total sum of square, and the other two sum of squares are the residual sum of square and estimated sum of square. So what is total sum of square? Total sum of square is measured by summation of yi minus y bar whole square. So it is basically the sum of the deviations of sum of the squares of the deviation of all the yi's from its mean values. So that is total sum of square. Now what is estimated sum of square? Estimated sum of square is measured by B hat summation of xi minus x bar whole square. B hat square summation of xi minus x bar whole square. So this is estimated sum of square. So basically what we are doing with the help of the regression analysis, we are estimating the economic theory, we are trying to predict the economic theory. So then we are estimating the dependent variable with the help of the independent variable or with the help of the explanatory variable. So after making the prediction with the help of the regression analysis, we get this estimated sum of square, where this B hat is the estimated value of the parameter B. So B is the parameter, population parameter, and this B hat is the regression parameter that we get after doing the analysis with the help of the sample data. And then the third sum of square we get is residual sum of square, and that is denoted by summation of ui hat square. So basically this is the sum of the squares of the predicted values of the error term. And we know that TSS is equal to ESS plus RSS. So sum of ESS and RSS will give us the TSS. That is total sum of square is equal to estimated sum of square plus residual sum of square. Now from here we can calculate R square, and what is R square? R square is ESS over TSS. So estimated sum of square divided by total sum of square, and we know that the value of R square lies between 0 and 1. So if it is 1, that means ESS is equal to TSS. So that means the model is fully explained by the independent variable, by the explanatory variable, and if it is 0, then the explanatory power of the regression model is nil. So the model is very weak. So in that case we need to change the model, we need to modify the model. And if it is a fraction, that is if the value of R square lies between 0 and 1, that means the model is partially predictable by the explanatory variable. So that is the interpretation of R square. In the next video, I will be discussing the estimation of the regression parameter.